Maybe I'm broken too. What if I'm overloaded? Not dramatic, not chaotic, just crowded. You sit down to rest, and 10 thoughts arrive at once. You try to focus, and your attention slips through your fingers. You wonder quietly, why can't I just think clearly? And somewhere beneath that question is a fear. Maybe something is wrong with me. But what if your brain isn't broken? What if it's overloaded? Visual slow-moving light patterns overlapping, gradually becoming brighter and busier too. Problem deep dive. The lived experience you. Wake up and before your feet touch the ground, your mind is already working. Notifications, responsibilities, conversations replaying, future scenarios rehearsing. Even in silence, there's commentary. This experience has a name in cognitive science: cognitive load. Your working memory, the small mental space where you hold and process information, is limited. Psychologist George Miller famously described this limit as around 7 items. But modern research suggests it may be closer to 4. 4, that's how much your conscious mind can juggle at once, yet you ask it to manage. Career plans, family expectations, social media input, self-improvement goals, and the constant evaluation of how you're doing in life. Your brain isn't failing. It's saturated. Visual, abstract brain animation with small glowing files. Stacking up too quickly, and here's the part we rarely notice. The modern world is designed to compete for your attention. Every notification triggers a tiny dopamine response. Every unfinished task creates what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect. Your mind keeps unfinished loops open. You don't just think about what you're doing. You think about what you haven't done. Your mental tabs are always open. And when too many tabs stay open, the system slows down. Not because it's defective, because it's overloaded. 3. Reframe. You are not broken when focus feels impossible. You call it laziness. When your thoughts race, you call it anxiety. When you feel mentally tired, you assume weakness. But neuroscience tells a different story. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for planning attention and self-control, is energy expensive. It consumes disproportionate metabolic resources. Decision-making, emotional regulation, concentration. These are not passive states. They are biological work. If your mind feels tired, it may not be fragile. It may be exhausting. There's a difference, and that difference matters. Visual. Person walking alone at night under soft streetlights. An exhausted system needs recovery. A broken system needs repair. Most of us are trying to repair what simply needs relief. Imagine your brain as a filter. Every second, your senses collect millions of bits of information. Light, sound, internal, memories. The thalamus acts like a gatekeeper, deciding what reaches conscious awareness. Your prefrontal cortex then decides what deserves attention. But here's the problem. Attention is a spotlight. It can only shine in one place at a time. When you try to multitask, you aren't truly doing multiple things. You're switching rapidly, and every switch carries a cost. This is called attention residue. A part of your mind remains stuck on the previous task. Like mud on your shoes as you try to walk across clean floors. The more you switch, the heavier your steps become. Add emotional stress to that system, and something else happens. The amygdala, your brain's threat detector, becomes more sensitive. When overwhelmed, it flags ordinary challenges as potential threats. Now, your overloaded brain also feels unsafe. This is why noise doesn't just feel busy, it feels urgent. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you, it's trying to protect you with limited bandwidth. Visual spotlight in a dark room, jumping quickly from object to object. 5. Practical framework reducing psychological noise. If overload is the problem, the solution is not more effort, it's smarter input management. Here's a simple, psychology-grounded framework. 1. Close open loops. Zeigarnik, reset. Your brain hates unfinished tasks. Write them down, not to solve them immediately, but to store them externally. This reduces working memory strain. You are telling your brain, it's recorded, you can release it. Visual. Notebook pages filling slowly. Mind becoming less cluttered too. Single channel focus, attention protection. Choose one task. Set a visible boundary of time. When you reduce switching, you reduce attention residue. Even 25 uninterrupted minutes restores cognitive efficiency. The brain performs best in depth, not fragmentation. 3. Reduce artificial dopamine. Constant novelty trains your brain to expect stimulation. Social media, rapid scrolling, constant checking, they increase baseline dopamine expectation. When you return to slower tasks, they feel painfully dull. Limit artificial spikes. Let your baseline reset. Clarity returns. When stimulation lowers. 4. Schedule cognitive recovery. Your prefrontal cortex fatigues. Recovery is not laziness. Walk without input. Sit without consuming. Let your default mode network activate, the brain network linked to integration and insight. Some of your clearest thoughts arrive when you stop forcing them. Visual. A person sitting quietly, soft natural light. 5. Lower internal threat signals. Ask gently, is this truly urgent? Often, overload is intensified by perceived threat. When you consciously reappraise a situation, you calm the amygdala. And when the amygdala calms, clarity improves. Safety sharpens thinking. Here's the simple model. Your brain has bandwidth. Bandwidth is finite. Every notification, every worry, every comparison, every unresolved task consumes a portion. When bandwidth is exceeded, performance drops. Not because you are incapable, but because the channel is crowded. Think of mental clarity not as a personality trait, but as a signal-to-noise ratio. Signal is what matters. Noise is everything competing with it. Your goal is not to become smarter or stronger or more disciplined. Your goal is to reduce noise so signals can emerge. Visual, static noise gradually fading, revealing a clear tone. Wave 7. Quiet, empowering close. There is nothing fundamentally wrong with your mind. It learned to survive in a world of constant input. It adapted, but adaptation has limits. You don't need to fix your brain. You need to give it space. Less switching, fewer open loops, lower stimulation, intentional rest. Clarity is not created through force. It appears when interference fades. So the next time your thoughts feel loud, don't ask what's wrong with me. Ask, how much am I carrying? And then gently set something down. Your mind was never broken. It was just full.
If this helped you understand yourself, follow for more and share it with someone who needs it.